The Rams' all-in Ocean's 11 approach to gathering huge stars has worked out brilliantly. And Les Snead, my guy, the Rams GM, deserves a ton of credit. And you know that I absolutely loved all of the Rams' moves. And I picked them preseason to make the Super Bowl. And look, I love the NFL draft, but it's all a hypothetical. And Snead added studs who, at the end of the day, brilliantly fits and check their ego at the door. And, you know, you look at a guy like Sony Michel. He's like Elliot Gould for Ocean's 11. I mean, you kind of needed him. Good character, right? Needed him to win when Henderson got hurt, and he's been a key component in the playoffs, too. Stafford is George Clooney. And you know I loved the trade when the Rams made it. And the second they made it, I said on Time to Shine, great. Congrats to the Rams. They're going to the Super Bowl in 2021, and we'll be in the LA Super Bowl in 2022. And Stafford has just been terrific and clutch this postseason. Snead told me that when he went back and did research on Odell Beckham Jr., he went all the way back to LSU after he was cut by Cleveland. And Beckham has just been incredible this postseason as a teammate and as a ball player. Von Miller is a Super Bowl champ and a key pass rusher. And remember, this entire approach all started with Jalen Ramsey, the Matt Damon of the bunch. Snead told me he didn't think twice about giving up 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey. Lockdown corner, I would argue the best in the game, and he wants to win, and Ramsey is a star, and Sean McVay makes this whole thing work. And you got to remember, it's all about the culture and stealing great picks later in the draft and strength in numbers later in the draft. And McVay and Snead stole Cooper Kupp, who became a big star. They hit on guys in the second round like Cam Akers and Van Jefferson. McVay and Snead and the entire organization are on the same page. And when you go for it, there's pressure. And you have to have the people in place who know how to handle the pressure. And now, with the brilliant plan, they're playing in the LA Super Bowl. You don't need first-round picks if you have superstars. Now you go out and get a Lombardi trophy. Nice job, Coach Sam on the Pee Wee level. Bengals win a Super Bowl. He should at least get a ring. I mean, put him at bare bones minimum. Give him a spot on a float in the parade. Needless to say, the Bengals are happy Joe Burrow stuck with being a quarterback thanks to Coach Sam at the Pee Wee level. Look, Joe Burrow has hits. You know, you start going through this matchup and why it's so delicious and a flip of the coin Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals. I love this team preseason. And I picked them to go 9-8. You know, I didn't even pick them to the playoffs. Nobody did. 9-8. I was obsessed with Burrow at LSU, obsessed with him having its in terms of what he could bring to the table at quarterback. And look at these nuggets of domination in the postseason. He also told the media yesterday, makes sense, I'm playing my best now because I learn each and every week. And he said it as just a matter of fact. And the weapons that he has at his disposal, look, Jamar Chase is a freak. He's a star. He's amazing. T. Higgins has everything you want. The hands, the size, the speed, the rapport with Burrow, everything you want in a star. And he's clearly the number 2. This moment will not be too big for the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe Burrow has everything you want at the quarterback position. Needless to say, Matt Stafford playing his best football at the right time. And look, there were moments, obviously, at the end of the regular season when Stafford was thrown into the wrong team. This postseason, he has been flawless. And the rapport he has with Cooper Kupp, it literally has been historic. The relationship with Odell Beckham Jr. has just been incredible. I think the world of Stafford and what he's been able to do all career long, going back to the Detroit days, and you know what he's been able to do in Los Angeles. And look, there's no quote-unquote home team for the Super Bowl, but there is. And listen, Cooper Kupp, and I think the Bengals have a strong defensive backfield and a very underrated DBs and corners, no question about that. Cooper Kupp has been not only remarkable in the regular season, incredible in the postseason. And there's no reason to believe, and I love the Bengals, and I love their defense. It's vastly underrated. Nobody is slowing down the Stafford to Cup connection on Super Bowl Sunday. The Jacksonville Jaguars finally have a new head coach, and it's Super Bowl winning coach Doug Pederson. And look, this hire is all about Trevor Lawrence and maximizing Trevor Lawrence's unreal talent and potential. Doug Pederson makes a ton of sense. He's a former quarterback. He's super smart. He did a really good job, of course, in Philadelphia over 5 seasons. Made the playoffs 3 times and obviously won the Super Bowl in 2017. Maximized Carson Wentz, stunningly won with Nicky Foles, who, let's be honest, has done nothing in his career without Doug Pederson. And Pederson beat Brady and Belichick to win it all. He called Philly Philly. And there's a statue outside the stadium. He absolutely earned all the accolades, but it also ended poorly. Make no doubt about it. It ended poorly for Doug Pederson, but he can coach and he adds major credibility. Trevor Lawrence is a special talent. Last year was a debacle of epic proportions under Urban Meyer on really every level, but most especially when it comes down to the stunted growth of an all-time grade quarterback prospect. I'm talking in the same breath and category as John Elway and Andrew Luck. Lawrence, legendary at Clemson and in high school. Herb ruined, destroyed, torpedoed his rookie season. But remember week 18? You saw him play free and route to beating in stunning fashion the Indianapolis Colts. It's all still there, and I expect greatness from Trevor Lawrence. And Pederson is really good. It's a good move. Byron Leftwich would have been better. He's a former Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback, a brilliant play caller in Tampa. I don't want to hear that he had Tom Brady. Look at what Brady did his last few years in New England before he had Byron in Tampa. Leftwich is super smart, tough as nails as a player. Byron Leftwich so well respected, a natural leader, great communicator. And look, he didn't want to work for Trent Baalke, which makes sense because Trent Baalke is the worst. He's terrible. Trent Baalke has a cantankerous personality. He's a terrible GM. He was Dave Gettleman before Dave Gettleman was Dave Gettleman. He won a power struggle with Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco, which was terrible for the Niners. Then made literally, we said it at the time, proved to be accurate, single worst hire in NFL history with Jim Tom Sula. That's the guy who hired Jim Tom Sula. Then he followed it up with Chip Kelly. I don't know how the heck Trent Baalke made it this far in Jacksonville. I give Byron Leftwich credit for saying, no, that would have been a recipe for failure. I mean, the Jags should have listened to Byron and hired Adrian Wilson to be the general manager. Now, I do hope that Jacksonville, and this has been rumored and reported, I hope the Jags bring in Rick Spielman, the former Vikings GM, who you know that I love. Spielman, Pederson, that ticket is a winner. It's a winner for Trevor Lawrence. It better be, because they let the best guy walk away. I asked Rams general manager Les Snead to describe Kevin O'Connell as a coach so he could speak freely and not get fined. And if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, you have to love what the Rams general manager had to say about his offensive coordinator, who will be named as the Minnesota Vikings head coach after the Super Bowl. Kevin O'Connell has been a head coach in the makings for a long time. Even as a player, he was viewed as a special coaching prodigy. The numbers the Rams have put up are absolutely off the charts. And then you think about Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and company, and the Minnesota Vikings are absolutely going to be moving in the right direction. I want it on record, I dig the hire. But I'm still stunned it didn't work out with Jim Harbaugh. This kind of feels like a lose here. I like O'Connell a lot, but Jim Harbaugh would have had the Minnesota Vikings as a strong playoff team. Now, Jim Harbaugh's an odd duck, but he's a heck of a coach. And he clearly thought he was getting the job, and he wanted it. He interviewed on National Signing Day, and he tells Mitch Albom that he's never going to the NFL. Nobody believes that. One of the Colts, his former team, they come calling after 2022. And here's the deal. This is why I say lose. Lose for Harbaugh, lose for the Vikings, lose for Michigan. It's not going to get any better for Michigan than this past year. I like O'Connell, but it should have been, at the end of the day, Jim Harbaugh as the new man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.